Welcome to the Nevis Newscast for today, Tuesday, January 16th, 2018. I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. At Saturday's free prostate screening clinic put on by urologist Dr. Dwayne Thwaites and Urology Associates, we caught up with the Deputy Premier in the Nevis Island Administration, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, who spoke about the importance of the prostate examination.
It is something that I do not believe anyone should be against doing, because of course we know the importance of early detection and screening, this type of screening. Of course it is free, so it means that it should be used by and utilized and taken advantage of by every single male in Nevis who is over 40. So I'm glad that I came this morning, and I'm done. It was just a few minutes ago I spoke to you, and I'm back here again. And when the good doc tells you everything feels normal, or the numbers that you see look exactly the same as years ago, it means that something good is happening, and we want to continue this. So my encouragement and appeal to all young men over the age of 40 and older is to come and utilize this screening, because it is something that you will never regret, in that if there is an early detection made, then of course necessary steps can be made to correct whatever situation there is.
Minister Jeffers also encouraged persons to come on board as sponsors for related future events.
So you'd always want to encourage persons to continue to lend their support to this screening. I'm not so sure how long ago it started, many years ago I'm sure, but indeed based on what it was then and what it is now, it behooves all of us to lend our support to this particular screening process. Not only this, but any other screening that is done in Nevis, because you know you have colonoscopy being done, you have pap smear tests that are being done, and those things, at least there is some resources that are needed to put them on. So all of the sponsors will need to come on board, and all the persons, whether it's the NIA, whether it's the private sector, lend their support to this particular activity, or all of the others that are meant to ensure that we have a healthy population.
We also spoke to two of the patients at the event, Brian Dyer and Derek Liebert, who gave us their thoughts on the event.
This is my fourth occasion checking on the health of my prostate, and I think it's a very good initiative, and the sponsors of this event should be commended, and also the support of the Nevisian public. The men are coming out. I have witnessed a gradual increase every year, so that's a good thing for us men on Nevis.
I encourage all the young guys them to come, even the older one as well. Come and do your prostate test, and make sure you do it every year.
A total of 588 men were tested on Saturday, January 13th. The screening took place at the occasion's entertainment center. Nevis will only and can only progress to its fullest potential if all of our people at home and abroad are engaged in the national developmental agenda, so noted Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Mark Brantley, when he gave the keynote address at the 19th annual luncheon put on by Hearts and Hands for Nevis Incorporated on Sunday, January 14th in Elmhurst, New York. Premier Brantley told the audience that each one of them who gathered for the event is an ambassador for the country. He admonished them to persuade their friends and colleagues at work and neighbors at home to become visitors to and even investors in Nevis. Premier Brantley, who noted that many at the event already own a home in the United States, appealed to them by saying, instead of buying another home here, how about building or buying one back home in Nevis? Many of you have children and grandchildren who have been born here in the diaspora and never visited Nevis. Why not insist that they come to know their ancestral land? Many of you are investors here. How about investing in Nevis and creating some jobs there? Noting that the flamboyant nursing home cannot sustain the demand and is quickly becoming overcrowded with a long waiting list, Premier Brantley advised that Nevis is crying out for a home for the aged. He said his government feels that this is an area ripe for entrepreneurship and investment as the Nevisian population ages. He called for the development of old family lands and properties abandoned all across Nevis for the benefit of all. Nevis, the Premier added, needs cutting-edge health diagnostic tools such as CT scans and MRIs and modern laboratory facilities. These are areas ripe for investment. Those at home and abroad must join their hearts and hands and work together to build our island and our wider nation, Premier Brantley said. Meantime, Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, the Honourable Dr. Timothy Harris, in a statement dated January 15th, extended congratulations and best wishes to Hearts and Hands for Nevis Incorporated on the occasion of its 19th annual luncheon on Sunday, January 14th. The Prime Minister applauded the organisation for its commendable acts of service over the years and for shining a spotlight on the societal significance of positive action. He noted that the Hearts and Hands Annual Honours Program raises awareness for the citizens and residents of our great federation on how just one positive action built successively onto another over the course of a lifetime can help to build a country and influence the world. At this year's luncheon, Hearts and Hands for Nevis recognized 3 eminent persons who exemplify the ethos that when our hearts and hands are engaged in meaningful service, there is no limit to what we can accomplish. Prime Minister Harris extended his highest commendations to this year's honorees. Her Honour, Marjorie Morton, Deputy Governor-General for Nevis, Ural Swanston, Nevisian statesman and businessman, and the late Pearline Liebert, who was posthumously recognized for her work as a founding member of Hearts and Hands for Nevis Incorporated. Prime Minister Harris wished Hearts and Hands for Nevis Incorporated continued success in 2018 and beyond, and many more successful annual luncheons and anniversaries where commitment and excellence are showcased and celebrated for the good of our country and humanity. Still to come.
You will be receiving a scholarship by the name Alexander Hamilton Scholarship, and you should do as much as possible to ensure that you carry that name.
The details after this break.
As a fisherman, I use the marine resource wisely so I can conserve our biodiversity, so I can fish for life. It's all about balance.
I preserve biodiversity by the way that I farm. It takes care of my family. It's all about balance.
I have enjoyed these seas all my life. I do my best to conserve our biodiversity because I want my children and my grandchildren to enjoy them as much as I do. It's all about balance.
I'm a park ranger, and my job is to properly manage our protected areas and conserve our biodiversity. It's all about balance.
Youth, let's play a part in conserving our biodiversity and maintaining our natural resources. It's all about balance.
For life, for livelihood, for the future of St. Kitts and Nevis, let's all conserve our biodiversity and use our natural resources wisely. It's all about balance.
Hello, my name is Culturama, the Caribbean's greatest summer line. Most islands have their festival annually, but they call it Carnival. With all those shows, we fete and fun. We party from sun up to sundown. Everybody come now, show the world what we mean when we talk about Culturama. Rocks up, flags up, flags up. Time to wake up for the jam. We come in the early to be morn. Rocks up, flags up, flags up, flags up. Time to jump up in the van.
Welcome back. Minister of Community Development, the Honourable Eric Evelyn, delivered words of advice to the Alexander Hamilton Scholarship recipients on Friday, January 12th at the official Alexander Hamilton Tea Party and Scholarship Awards ceremony.
I will encourage you that whatever you do it well. Be very diligent in your work. You have to ensure that you make yourselves proud, you make your parents proud, you make your village proud, you make your country proud, and you'll be making yourselves proud as well. But you have to ensure that you're carrying the name of Alexander Hamilton. You will be receiving a scholarship by the name Alexander Hamilton Scholarship, and you should do as much as possible to ensure that you carry that name proud and you do justice to that name.
Minister Evelyn expressed his delight in the fact that community service is part of the requirement to maintain the scholarship.
I am very delighted that you're not only receiving the scholarship, but you'll also be doing some community work as well. I was happy with when Chris was here and he spoke about the community work that you do here on Saturdays. I know that the NHCS, they have some very diligent members and they will ensure that you do your community work. So I'm happy that the scholarship will ensure that you'll become well-rounded students and in the end become well-rounded citizens. I will try my best to follow your work through high school for the next 5 years, to follow the work that you do in the community, and I'm going to be looking at you very carefully on the streets to ensure that you conduct yourselves well and that you uphold the name Alexander Hamilton.
He also thanked the sponsors and volunteers for their hard work in making the event possible. A total of 4 secondary school students received scholarships on Friday, January 12th. The event was also attended by Premier the Honorable Mark Brantley, widowed great-great-granddaughter-in-law of Alexander Hamilton, Marianne Hamilton, the Trott family, past scholarship recipients, and members of the public. The government of the Republic of China Taiwan has once again pledged its support to the agricultural industry in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis with the handing over of the Vegetable, Fruit and Upland Crop Quality and Safety Improvement Project facility and a check to the tune of $241,000 for the Eco Park Maintenance Project. The handing over ceremony held on Thursday, January 11th at the Ministry of Agriculture Project Office at Newscast on St. Kitts underscored the Taiwanese government's confidence in the skills passed on to the Federation's agricultural technical officers, hence the turning over of the operation of the facility to the local officers. Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Eugene Hamilton, expressed his sincere thanks to the Republic of China Taiwan for its continued support to the government, specifically in the area of agriculture. The minister stated that the project has been shown to be very important and a vital part of the success of the crops growing in the Federation over the past years. He explained that through this project, the confidence of local businesses, including a number of hotels, has risen significantly. He said this has led to businesses committing to buying local after being assured that the goods that are being produced are of a high quality. The Vegetable, Fruit and Upland Crop Quality and Safety Improvement Project was initiated in 2014. The objective was to improve the safety and quality standards of crops being produced and act as a support system to farmers and the general public. And that brings us to the end of this edition of the Nevis Newscast. I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. Thank you for viewing.
At a loss as to what's going on in Nevis? Tune into NNC on NTV. Don't worry if you don't have cable either. NNC will bring the news to you wherever you are. Facebook and Facebook Live. YouTube and YouTube Live. NevisTVOnline.com. Roku app, NTV mobile app, Smart TV, Apple TV, and any other IPTV platforms. When me ANC and you ANC, NNC.